Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is the MEZUZAH that was installed at some point in April, this past April, by Rabbi Joseph Zaltzman and Rabbi Israel Zaltzman at the residence of Armin Andrei Konn, gentleman who did have circumcision procedure on Thursday late afternoon, May 1st, 2023, 5 months ago, at 17 Church Street, Toronto, and upon completion. This particular procedure that was performed by one outstanding kid was presented to the world, Jewish and otherwise, as a bris milah procedure. The procedure was performed by definitely one outstanding fellow, outstanding Jew, outstanding Yid. He is not just medical doctor, he is rabbi. He is director of pathology department of Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. He is assistant professor of another famous institution, Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. And he did arrive to Toronto few hours prior to this incredible, one-of-a-kind, historic by all means event on May 1st, and circumcision was performed. And another incredible Yid, incredible Jew, Rabbi and rabbinical judge, CEO and president of Q Straight, fellow Russian-speaking gentleman, Eliyahu Holodenko was present, and he was performing role of a Sandek. So, as you know, folks, Rabbi Israel Zaltzman, Joseph Zaltzman, senior rabbi of Jewish Russian community of Ontario, he is an indisputable expert in Jewish identification, and if you proceed to JRCC website, you would be able to review letter. I believe it was issued in 2013 by Toronto Rabbinical Court, indicating that Rabbi Israel Zaltzman is an expert, Joseph Zaltzman, I am really sorry, folks, indisputable expert in Jewish identification. And JRCC, Jewish Russian Community, has department dedicated to Jewish identification, and all the folks that have some issues with documentation, etc., they are arriving from all over Canada to see Joseph Zaltzman, to assist them in determining their Jewish status, their Jewishness. So, in this case, one particular fellow, I don't know, he is Russian-speaking, Ukrainian-speaking, German-speaking fellow, not a Yiddish-speaking fellow. He was born in 1926 in Lviv, is Novograd-Volhynsky. But shortly after he was born in this great city, family moved to Pavlich, relatively small village, about 100 kilometers south of Kiev, and majority of folks who were residing at this village were Ukrainian, and the Jewish population was about 350. So Ukrainian neighbors definitely knew each and every Jew who was residing at that time in this village. And by the time German, Magyars, Ukrainian collaborators slaughtered all Jewish population of Pavlich, and this particular slaughter was completed by September 15, many houses became available, definitely, and Armin Konn family, his mom, his brother, they moved to a big, large house situated on a main street. It was only one street in Pavlich at that time that was that did not have kind of not attended to surface, right? So they were living under Nazi occupation for several years, and as you understand, definitely, it was impossible, simply impossible to live in small cities among your Ukrainian neighbors as a Jew. And as I did mention, family did move to a big house, corner house, as soon as righteous Jewish owners were slaughtered. So, friends, something went wrong, and despite the fact that Joseph Zaltzman, definitely indisputable expert in Jewish identification, this time, this particular procedure was performed, was offered not to the Jew, rather to the proud Ukrainian, head of Free Cossacks movement of Canada, to someone who did not serve even one day in the Soviet army, rather one who did spend time in a DP camp in Germany, camp designed for Nazi collaborators. This is another story, and thank you for your time, folks and rabbis. Thank you for incredible, one-of-a-kind mezuzah you did choose to install a couple of months ago. Kol hakavod, rabbis. Kol hakavod.